I want to talk today about emergency chicken foods. We normally use Layena 16% protein pellets because the crumbles are too wasteful. They end up making a lot of manure on them, and they just don't do as well. We went with Purina for years. This is a personal preference. I've not had any problems with Purina. I have had problems with other brands. So if you can't get layer pellets, because every animal to produce or grow needs 16% protein. Okay? So if you can't get this, because we all know some of the shortages we've had the last years, and also economic shortages do happen when you're homesteading. You can get whole grains for your chickens, whether that's cracked corn, wheat. You can get barley. You can get oats. They don't like those much, but you can do sweet cob or wet cob. You can give them soaked alfalfa pellets. Those they're not real fond of them, but it's actually the proper protein. So a lot of times when you're doing emergency feeds, keep in mind this is not, while it may be a lifesaver in the interim, don't do it too long because it is not nutritionally sound, okay? It's like your sweet cob. This is like, 8% protein. That's not enough for them to produce on. Don't give them something that they can't produce on long term. We're talking short term. So, and also a daily supplementation, just for kicks, just for variety, because chickens need variety in order to lay properly. You can give vegetables, cooked potatoes, potato peels. You can make corn muffins for your chickens. We will take a pancake mix and we will make it into put it in a large cake pan and make up a cake for them. You can give them oats. I would wet them. You can give them macaroni. They like that. You must cook it. Lentils, we cook that for them. You can give them beans. We cook that for them. You can give them rice. Make sure you cook that for them. You can give them your canned goods, whether the canned goods that are commercial that you have in your larder or home canned stuff. Chickens can eat meat. Make sure it's cooked and of good quality. Don't give them something that's gone bad. Chickens can also eat their own eggs. You need to cook them so that they can't identify them and remove the shell. Chicks, particularly, if you can't get chick start, you can either grind up the layer pellets if you have them. You can get flock raiser, which is higher protein, because they need 18% to grow, the chicks do. You can also take and hard boil some chicken eggs and feed them the yolk. This is an acceptable solution for lack of chick start. What you don't want to do when you're doing emergency feeds is cross species for the most part, okay? So pig food, for instance, is not acceptable to give to most animals. When you cross the species, you've got vitamins and minerals in quantities that is not appropriate for that species. So do not cross species, even in an emergency. A good one to have on hand in an emergency that's all the animals can have is typically something like sweet cob and alfalfa pellets. And this is feeding your chickens in an emergency.